Yo, welcome. This is the Arts of Movement Travel Talk Podcast, episode 3. We are recording here in Mexico City. We have the gang here. My name is Atiba. I'm here with Mo, Diamante, and we have a very special guest today with us. She is an expat expert. She's been living overseas for the last 5 years.
World traveler.
Has been living in Qatar, Antigua, now in Mexico City.
Outside.
And now she's a relocation specialist training black people on how to thrive and live overseas. Please, y'all, give me a warm welcome and welcome Amber C. Edwards.
Know the vibe?
Ace.
Oh, we snapping with it. We snapping.
She is.
All right, yo. So how we feeling, Amber? How are you feeling?
First of all, I'm happy to see y'all.
Happy to see you
see
too.
you
It's
guys
been
in
a hot minute.
Antigua.
Yeah.
So now we're in a whole other country.
I know.
Yes.
And Atiba's been staying at the Lit House, getting a little
Okay.
lit vibes.
We're gonna talk
We
about
need to
that.
understand what that is a
We're
little
gonna talk
bit.
about
We
that.
can
You know.
tap in.
So yeah, I love to just show people what it's like to live abroad because I want them to see that this is something that I can actually do, and it's easy, it's possible. So yeah, it just makes me very happy to like pop in some things for y'all and just to see y'all like living your best life as well.
sure.
Bo's over here talking about I'm about to be moving over to Mexico City, man. Like I don't know what to do. Nah,
Honestly.
I got you.
Amber, get my contact.
I got you. I got you. You know, I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be ease. You'll be
All right.
overseas with ease.
All right, cool. So before we talk about your background, right? Let's talk about Mexico City, right? We're here, Mexico City.
Lovely.
Amazing.
Listen,
city.
personally for me, I've been sleeping on Mexico City.
Not only you, brother.
I'm gonna
I've been
keep it
trying
a
to tell
buck.
people.
I think Mexico City might be one of the most slept on cities
Yes.
out here.
By
It's
far.
actually crazy. We've been to Mexico a million times.
million
But
times.
no one ever
Tulum,
comes to Mexico
Cancun.
City.
Nobody
Y'all go to the
comes.
tourist
Like,
areas.
Cabo.
Like Cabo.
We're
We're trying to lit.
We only hitting places with beaches. It seemed like.
Yeah, but
But
once y'all knew
coastal.
it was the mountains, how did you feel? We're just like,
It's gorgeous here.
All,
It's
all-
lush,
all I
it's
knew really was
green,
the
it's
food was gonna
vibrant.
slap. I knew the food was gonna slap.
Yep.
And that's it.
Okay.
But this city is
Slap your stomach is a fact.
nah.
y'all need the charcoal pills, okay?
We were-
See, if
we
they
were
would have
down
asked
for a
me, I would have
couple
told them
days.
Hey,
everything.
yo.
We were down for a couple days.
But nah, this city is beyond beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Cheap as fuck.
Hey.
Cheap
Economical.
as fuck.
Economical. Economical is the word that we use
Economical.
here.
True.
Yeah.
For what
Come
you're
on, man.
used to paying.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I'll give y'all a little preface. I've been in an Airbnb for a little bit, and my Airbnb just ended maybe a month ago, and I didn't want to jump right into a lease. I figured give me some flexibility. So I put my stuff in storage
Yep.
because I've done this before. I was kind of living
Yeah,
like
half of your
that
shit is at my house.
Okay,
That's why it's good to have friends.
right. You don't have friends for no reason.
I'm charging him a storage fee. He doesn't know.
Gotcha.
I've done the nomad life before, almost pretty much for a year before. So I was like, you know what? Let me get a little taste of it, and I finessed it a little bit. I had to come down here for work, so I kind of made it like a work play trip, and I was like, yo, everybody should just pull up. So we've been down here for 2 weeks now, just about 2 weeks now,
Nice.
and it has been phenomenal.
Vibes. Nothing but vibes.
Yay.
Good
Really?
energy, good people, beautiful people.
The people
good
are
food,
The
everything.
weather's amazing.
Weather.
I would
Honestly,
say-
the weather very much like LA.
It is like
I say it's forever fall in Mexico City.
Ooh, forever fall.
Forever fall.
That's a good way to put it.
Right, it really
Good way
is.
to put it.
I know you
Facts.
can. I'm selling it. You buying.
I'm living.
If you all didn't know, off camera we have another traveler that you see in most of our videos. We got Bo Kim, the legend.
the Bo King.
legend.
Bo, poke your head in there and smile at the
Please.
camera real quick,
One of
please.
the original movers.
Poke your head and smile at the camera real
Let
quick,
you come
Boski.
through. There we
That's
go.
our guy. That's our guy
Y'all
right
seen his
there.
face. Y'all seen his
know
face.
him. Y'all know him.
Boski.
So
But nah, yeah, it's definitely been a vibe. I'll definitely be back. But
That makes me happy.
For sure.
I love that.
With more people.
Yes. Please,
not-
more black men.
Ooh.
ooh, hold on, but now we gotta tap in on that.
we're
right?
gonna get to that. We're gonna
Yeah,
get
we
to
can,
that.
we can start now.
Yo, nah,
we
like,
can start
like-
now. It's a natural
Yo,
transition.
why is it that what do you think is the reason that black men don't necessarily travel? Like,
Why are you asking me? I'm a black woman. Why do I gotta know all the
what's your
answers?
perspective? Like, you know what I
tell
mean?
me.
I mean, we obviously travel. Like, we be outside.
Yeah,
you know what I
you
mean?
gotta
Y'all
ask me
travel, but y'all
twice.
don't live abroad, though.
Ooh, hold on. What's the difference?
Yeah, what,
I mean, what do you mean? What's the difference?
What's the difference? I mean, we travel
I live for-
often
I
to
live
where we
for a
live in
short
multiple
time.
places.
Living abroad and vacationing abroad are two different ministries.
Okay, talk
it's
to
not
us.
like what y'all spend on a 4-day weekend is what I spend in a month.
Hmm.
That's the difference. people think living abroad is expensive, and it definitely can be.
Right.
But we're not living like that with people who live here. We're most likely coming to save some money, to get some peace, to leave the rat race, and to just rest a little bit, and to be around people who love and appreciate us and the culture, and we love and appreciate the culture as well. So a lot of expats are trying to integrate, especially Black expats, to integrate into local cultures and society. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about it, is that we're coming here to live like we're in Mexico, like we're Mexicanos, like we're Afro-Mexicanos.
Facts.
That's why I was like, I'm an Afro-gringa, like there's a difference,
Right.
you know?
Let them know.
Let it.
I will say, there's something we discussed the other day. I don't know if it's right or not, but there might be some weight to it. We're talking about how Black men in the U.S., if you're a Black man in the U.S., you got a decent job, you're in a city, you're okay.
You're comfortable.
Like, you're comfy. Like, you got, I'm not saying this is my life. I'm saying they have different options in terms of women. They got all the things that they usually do, like on the weekend, during the week. It's comfortable. And we had a discussion where it was like, Black women, on the other hand, they get tired of some of the shit that we do. So they may see it as, you know what, like, I'm going to just be out.
Pack it up.
I'm just pack it up and I'm just going to leave.
Like what? What do you think it is? Or maybe I should ask you.
Yeah.
What do you
Right.
think it is that make Black women more open to sort of relocating overseas or whatnot?
Definitely. I mean, Black women are trendsetters.
That's
Just
a fact.
natural. Like even Nielsen says it. Like
fact.
science, like it's proven. So once we see something and it no longer serves us, we're looking to find a way out, because we don't want to live, especially nowadays, in a space where we don't have to settle or like not be happy. And a lot of Black women are traveling, and they're saying like, yo, I'm abroad, people love me.
Yep.
They're showing me, they're out, like I'm over here. My Spanish is awful, y'all. And I'm from deep South Texas, pero mi español es muy mala. Like I should know more.
Better than mine.
Pero
The few words you do, I will say, the few words that you do speak out here, you say with confidence. So
oh,
I'll be like,
it's all about the confidence.
Yeah.
If you had translation underneath, it would be awful. But there just comes a time where we just like get tired of things, and we're just like, you know what? Let me just make a change in it. And when we've traveled, we've seen the love. So it's like, well, if that's how it is when I vacation, then why wouldn't it be any different when I'm living there? So now I'm saving money also. There's I love the community that's abroad as well. Like the Black people that live outside the U.S. are everything. And so it's just like check. At that point, they're just like, you know what? Let me just figure out a plan. Like they want to, they just don't know how. And that's the part that is the hard part.
That's a big part.
And that they don't have people around them that also want to do it. So now they think, well, shoot, maybe I'm the only person that does that,
Right.
So, and I don't know anybody, but there's a community out there.
Okay.
We're there.
Okay. That's perfect. So let's talk about it. Overseas with ease.
Yes.
This is
Love the name, by
This
the
is
way.
your
Thank
thing. That's
you.
a beautiful name.
Overseas with ease.
Thank you.
Like, how did this become a thing? Tell us the backstory on all this.
How'd you get involved?
Yeah.
Wow. So great question. I was living abroad in 2018, and I was living in Qatar. So I was married at the time, and my husband got in a job there. So I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. And I read one article in the New York Times that was like, Qatar is the richest country in the world.
Oil
I was
money.
like, what? And it's not America? That was like, huh? Let me do some more research. I was like, it's really safe. And they just got the bid for the World Cup. So I was like, okay, this could be a lot of fun. So 3 months later, I like packed up everything, and literally like 5 years, about last week on the 24th, was my 5-year anniversary.
Wow.
Congrats
Living
on that.
abroad. Thank you.
5 years,
Yes. 5 años. And so went abroad, and I loved it in Qatar. Like I ended up becoming a model. I ended up.
They're not used to seeing that beauty out there.
They really.
Word,
I was
like,
bald, like,
many
and
how
I'm
many
a
Black people
background
did you see?
person. Like, I mean, y'all didn't know me pre that, but if you would and you saw the difference, you'd be like, "Damn, son." And so just went out there. Like, I started an app over there that was very similar to the app that they have in the U.S., but they just didn't have it there, and I felt like it worked better in
Watch from
Qatar.
Turkey.
So, and this was in 6 months. I did like a runway show. I had like an 8-page spread in Gracia, Arabia.
In 6 months?
Yes, 6 months.
Jesus.
I was there from
Complex.
April to October.
Oh, you was making movements.
Yeah.
That's real movements.
It was
It's what we
nice.
call the arts of movements.
But that was all Facebook groups. Like if you're trying to move abroad, go to Facebook and type in like Black people in and then like the city or the country, because you'll see that there's community there, and that's going to help you figure out, okay, what can I do? What's missing? Where's there opportunity? Do I like the people here? Am I getting good vibes? Is it safe? You'll answer a lot of questions in those Facebook groups, and you'll be able to meet people also. Now, the people kind of interesting Facebook community is,
Yeah,
Facebook.
y'all know how Facebook go.
So
It's a little wild on
it's
there.
a little wild, like, but like step 2 is like once you meet people that live there, you had to get in the WhatsApp groups. That's like the
We've
next
been
level.
living half off the WhatsApp groups. We're not even in them yet,
You're
but
not-
people just send us
You
all
have
the info.
to. Yeah, if you're in there, that's like next level, and that helps you integrate even faster. And that's how you build community, because you don't want to be in paradise like by yourself crying on the beach because you have no friends.
Facts. Yeah, we need to get plugged
Yes.
into the WhatsApp group. But I feel
Yes.
like that is very important information. And sometimes it's easier said than done. Y'all know, like, oh yeah, I want to do this, this, and that.
That's facts.
Ask the question, look it up. Okay, this is what I got to do. Then you're just sitting there.
Yep.
Right?
And that's why you
Because
hire me.
you need that connection.
Need that relocation
honestly.
specialist.
Yeah.
You need
Yes,
somebody to
thank
make it
you.
real for you. You feel me?
So what is the overseas with ease now? So what I know, you making customized plans for people. How
Yes.
does that work?
It's lovely. So I make custom, temporary, and permanent relocation plans for Black Americans. I love it because in the beginning, I'm really figuring out like, what do you want for your new life abroad? What is your why? Why are you moving abroad? What do you want your morning to look like in your new country? What are the smells, the hears, the tastes that you have? What does your day look like? What your work schedule?
Hold on. I love that.
You got the holistic.
I
It's a
didn't
holistic
mean to cut that
approach.
in.
No, I love
But
this.
especially at work, we deal with like trying to solve a problem for a goal, and oftentimes people don't dive into it enough to understand what are we solving.
Into
Yep.
the why.
Right,
Yeah.
into the why.
You have
You
to.
start there.
I have
That's
to.
fire.
Like if I'm moving you and creating a whole new life, I have to know like who you are. What things that you need, you want. What are your vices? What are your non-negotiables? What are the things that you cannot and absolutely will not live without? And it depends on if you're single and solo. That's a different route versus if you have kids, like I need to know about the schools. Well, what kind of school do you want for your kids? Are they going to play sports? Are they not? What kind of sports are they playing? Because now you're a Black American, we thrive at everything. So now you're doing cricket,
fact.
you're doing swimming, you're doing sports where no one else is going to be there like you, and you're going to excel. So now you go into the Olympics and things that you normally wouldn't have had a chance to. Oh, let's sprinkle on a foreign language on there on top of that. So
I'm on bilingual.
right. Imagine going to college with that kind of resume, like living abroad, having done all these things. And now if you do want to come back to the U.S. and get schooling, because who knows what it'll be in the next 5-10 years, your resume, like who else? No, 33% of Americans have a passport.
That's
Only
extremely
33?
small
Only
amount.
33.
Wow.
That sounds about right.
No, it does not.
That
That's
doesn't
are-
sound.
33%
That sounds right, but
of
it's like,
Americans.
That's not even used. That's just half.
Do y'all forget about the middle
That's
states?
fair too.
Yeah, America is
Yo.
50
nah.
cities and
Nebraska and Iowa,
backwoods.
bro.
Shout out to Nebraska.
Yeah.
I don't expect none of them to have no passports.
Damn, yo, Montana got something to say about that.
Well, they
They're not. They're staying, but they're not moving.
they're gonna be in that state.
So I got a question. I think Jamal sort of like touched on it a little bit, right? But I want to sort of expand on it, right? A lot of the reasons why I think people are comfortable in the States, right? It's what
Yep.
we know. It's what we was born into, right?
Comfort.
Right? Comfort keeps you where you are. Comfort keeps you in place. Keeps you in the rat race, right? And we've been able. I mean, we've all been blessed. We all work in tech, work for these companies, like that help provide this level of comfort to travel and like see the world. My job's not letting me pick up and move to Mexico City or Qatar whenever I want, right? So as you deal with like sort of these relocation opportunities for people, how do you necessarily set people up in which they can make a living, right? Like
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, jobs is like jobs, family, and a plan. I would say the 3 reasons why people haven't moved.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, everything I do is custom, so we can chat about you direct, because everyone has a different life. So for you, it's, do you really like your job?
We're not gonna talk about
That answers that. So, you know, I can do, y'all, I'm a pro. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes.
I would much rather be doing what we're doing now than what I'm
Exactly.
doing on a day.
We're not gonna say where he works. Okay.
Anyway,
No, it's not necessary,
We're
but
not,
it's not.
Yo, they don't deserve that public.
Nah,
That
it's just that simple. So it's like, okay, now it's, what do you want to do about it? You're about to move and make a whole new life. Do you really want to keep a job that you're not happy with?
So
You ain't ready.
that what's the turning point? Like, what do you show people and people are like, all right, I'm gonna do it? Is it the numbers, or is it that story of how do you want to live your life?
It's
facts.
honestly, my students, I'm not having to convince them to live abroad. They already want to. They've had this feeling in their spirit that they cannot shake. Whatever they want, it's been there for years, for a little bit, and they just like, I just need a plan. So I'm not here to convince you to move. I'm just here to make it easy for you to move abroad.
Ooh.
That's it.
That sounds about
That's
right.
real.
So,
right.
you know, if that's what you want to do, then let's make it easy. Like, what do you really truly want in life? Like, a lot of Black women, they don't get a chance to answer that question. No one's ever asked them. So they have to sit on that. And I asked them that day 3. You know, first day 1 is why. Day 2 is the routine. Tell me about what your life is like now. What is your days looking like? What are your weekends looking like? What are your weekends, weekdays, random days, holidays?
So,
And then what do you want your real life to look like?
so give me an example, right? Like, what does your day look like, right?
Ah!
Like, you know, what can people expect when they like decide, yo, I'm gonna pick up, I'm gonna move to a foreign country, right? Because a lot of us, like I said, in the rat race, we understand we waking up 6, 7 a.m., getting to work by 9, working 8, 9 hours a day. You know what I mean? Taking an hour commute back home.
Jesus.
Probably logging back in, do a little bit of work, like with the, you know, homework or whatever. Like, what does it look like when you go overseas and you sort of start over a little bit?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? What's that look like?
Well, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, so like it's a little different than I guess most people. I'm not a morning person, so I just kind of wake up when my body wakes up. Typically, I mean, how real do you want me to get? All right.
Give it,
Tell
yeah,
your
good.
story. Your truth.
All right. So I wake up, I smoke some weeds.
We
Because
are
that is
420
my,
friendly.
yes, that's my plant medicine. It really does help calm me and just kind of help me like connect to the source and release all the noise of like self-doubt and all the extra stuff that's there. I typically go on social media in the morning, try to pick up some news because I am a relocation specialist. So what's going on for the people that are my target audience, what kind of, you know, what's happening in America kind of things. And let me just,
A lot.
you know, whenever
Lot
you're
of
tired, are you tired?
Right.
So I gather that details. I talk to my best friend for about an hour to 2 hours every day. And so I love that because we just like shoot the shit and just gossip and kiki and all that. And then typically I'll start to do some work stuff around then, like 12-ish. I'm a daytime, like I like to be in the sun. So unless I'm in like campaign, I'll be outside and just try to like tan, get some sun in, and typically do like a lot of my work stuff at night.
Sure.
And then I'll have calls throughout the day with like different clients or my students. I post on Instagram, so I try to post with if I'm in flow once a day. So I'll work on that at night and schedule it. And that's it. And then I like try to wind down with some reality TV. So
Not
get a
reality.
VPN.
What you watching? Love Is Blind?
No, so I'm a big Real Housewives fan,
Oh, my God.
and that's what I watch. Like pretty much all of them. I'm like itching for the next one, which should be out like in next week. Shout out to Atlanta, and just like random I love comedy. So like Abbott Elementary, Psych is one of
Shout
my
out to
favorite
ET.
shows.
And Auntie Cheryl.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
best hair in the game, man. Like the
Should
Slade,
be
Laid. Oops, and then I watch this old show called Psych, which used to be on USA.
Psych is fire.
It's so
How do you watch that?
funny
I don't know any of these
on
shows.
On cable?
Peacock.
On Peacock.
Yeah.
Peacock tried to. I was gonna get Peacock
You should.
simply for The Office.
Okay.
This man was not getting Peacock.
Yeah, and then I just looked at the extra charge. I was like,
No, we
He's
can.
not
Do you have
getting
Netflix?
of course.
We'll swap.
Let me tell you something.
Done.
That's
So
really
that's it right
Living
there.
the bride.
Don't tell him twice.
Netflix makes
Yes.
their rules because of people like you.
Yes. No, it's fine. Look, we're gonna make it work. I got a VPN, so I'll just set it up to your city. That's how you look.
That's also very
There's
important.
always
The
a way
VPN.
around
VPN.
it.
Like
Yes.
playoff basketball happening right now.
Hold on.
Yes.
You want to tell them about rule number 482 of the Arts of Movement?
Oh,
about
shoot.
VPN? Go ahead.
What is the rule?
What is the rule?
What is the
Rule-
rule?
Rule number 482 of the Arts of Movement. If you are traveling abroad, get a VPN so that you can still do work. You can connect to the real world.
Yes.
As well as
Yes.
connect with the same things that you're connecting with back home.
Yes.
Like NBA basketball.
Like
Yes.
NBA basketball.
And Real Housewives of Atlanta live.
Or Real Housewives of Atlanta.
And Potomac and
unfortunately.
Ultimate Girls
All
Trip
right.
and Utah, Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. No, so I mean, you gave us a little bit about like sort of your day to day as an entrepreneur, right? But like you help people relocate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody, I'm assuming that you help relocate, is an entrepreneur.
Correct.
Right? What sort of opportunities do you help them set up? What can their day sort of look like, right? So if like we got somebody that like is watching this right now and wants to reach out to Amber, what can they sort of expect out of like sort of a day to day that you might set up? Like, and obviously it's tailored, but like
Right.
give an example of like somebody you work with recently.
So let's say you do work remote for another company. My focus is mostly making it as a smooth transition as possible. So if you're Eastern time zone, go south. Try to keep it within 1 hour to your current time zone, so it's not like 8-10 hours and now you're having to
Right.
lock in at 2 p.m. and mess up your whole schedule, especially if you're just making that first transition.
Sure.
My stuff is always about ease. You know, we can dive into the deep, but like I would rather, you know, it's like when you're swimming. Do you want them to throw you in the water or do you want like swimming lessons?
Right.
You know? So I'm the swimming lessons kind of person. You know? So let's see, you work remote. It's making sure first check your contract to see what are they allowing. Sometimes it doesn't say anything or it specifically states that you can work from anywhere. So at that point, you may not even need a VPN. I only typically use it for like TV stuff, sometimes Instagram, because it messes up with when I'm in Mexico and some other countries when it comes to music. So let's say you can't work abroad. I always ask like, well, what's your relationship with like at your job and your boss? Because, you know, y'all homies, you know, they gonna bat for you. Are you like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah,
So, and
that's
then
real.
the question is, okay, well, do we need to look for a remote job that's remote first, where you can work from anywhere? Are you trying to make a shift into entrepreneurship? A lot of people are trying to either use their abroad journey as a way to double down on their own business that they've already kind of been dibble dabbling in, and just like, you know what, bump it. Like
All in.
we're gonna,
All in.
And I love that because there's like a hustle that you have. Like I have to make it
gotta
work.
make it
Gotta
work.
win.
Yeah.
Gotta win.
And the
Love
beautiful
that.
thing is like you have a nest
Movements.
egg. You're not selling everything, getting rid
Right.
of your American passport and doing all that. Like you can just come back. You know, it's not bad. I came back after Antigua and it didn't work. And then COVID hit. So like literally 3 months, like I was supposed to leave that first week of March and Sydney was coming. We got a whole bunch of women to Antigua and we had to shut it down because LA was closing down. Everyone was like, I don't know if we leave, we're going to come back.
Right.
We
So-
still went to Antigua.
We were still in it.
In March of 2019.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
So
y'all
let's-
waited. Yeah, I was there. I was like, ah.
Let's preface this a little bit, right? So we didn't even talk about how we met Amber.
Oh, yeah.
right? So we met Amber in Antigua. Episode 2, you'll learn a lot about Antigua. We had the general.
Go back and watch
Dr.
that if you
Colin
didn't watch it
Williams
yet.
on there. And that's where we met her.
That's
And,
exactly
like,
how
you
we
know,
met.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, literally through Colin in Antigua, and she was like, "Yeah, I live here now." And we're like, "What do you mean you live here?" Like that, it just was like a mind, like it just didn't
Yeah.
make
Makes
sense.
sense.
We
I
was at
live
her
where you
house.
vacation.
Yeah. We
Oh,
was at
yeah.
her house.
Y'all saw my life.
And she was up here like, "Yeah, you should just move here." Like,
It's
and I was like,
easy.
"I can't just move here." She's like, "No, of course you can."
Like, yeah.
I'm
That's
like,
easy.
I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she like literally, we talked.
I
don't
wasn't even
know.
doing my business then when I was talking to you.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Really?
my business, I launched it in November 2020 when like the election, right
Oh,
after
shit.
President Biden was called president. I launched it that day.
Damn.
So y'all came like the month
Right
before.
before,
Yeah, the month before.
So
You
I was like dibble dabbling,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wasn't even like, I wasn't selling anything or anything
He
like
was just
that.
trying to convince people, like, yo, you can definitely do this.
Yeah.
And I remember we talked for mad
For hours. That was
and I'm
crazy.
like, yo, like, what do you like? This is possible for real, like.
Yep.
And it was a very, very good conversation, and like, you know, obviously, fast forward 3 years,
Almost
years?
three.
Almost
Mhm.
3 years.
2.5.
Like
And
4
years.
Almost 4.
You doing
yeah.
it, yeah, and you doing this shit full time, like, you know what I mean. You really leaned in. We here in a different
city
in a different country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talking about what we're talking about now is really an amazing thing. So
Thank you.
just shout out to you. Kudos.
I'm
for sure.
excited. Mexico is amazing. Ugh.
All right, tell us about Mexico.
I mean, I'm from the border. I'm from Texas, deep south. So repping Selena because she's from Corpus Christi
Anything
area.
for Selena.
Anything. We love her. And so I just grew up around Mexican culture. I was raised by a single dad who's a doctor, so he works 6 days a week. And so the Varela's, like, they picked me up from school. They pretty much raised me. So I've always had, like, a love for Mexican culture. And when COVID hit, Antigua pretty much shut down. We were having, like, 6 p.m. curfews. The airport closed down. It was a lot. And as a relocation specialist, I had switched from doing travel stuff, which when I met you guys,
Right.
with switching that to living abroad, which is different. And I was like, okay, well, where are all the Black Americans living? And a lot were in Mexico.
Right.
There was 4 cities that had large Black expat communities. So I was like, all right, doing what I do, knowing that I just launched the Lit House also, which Lit stands for Local in Training. And so I'm like, all right,
Fire.
let's go and figure out where am I going to put the Lit House in Mexico, because clearly there's a lot of people going there. Not only Americans, I think they said like 1.6 million Americans live in Mexico, which is more than like any other country. It also
6
has,
million.
yeah,
Sheesh.
it's a lot. It's more than anywhere. They also vacation more than anywhere else.
Right.
So
Wow.
clearly, like, Mexico's lit.
Uh-huh.
You know, whatever the media says, like, it's lit, y'all. Trust me, like, they ain't coming for us. So we good.
It's a fact.
We just living.
It's a fact.
as long as you're not stupid too. Like
It's that's the thing. Is like, as long as you ain't bad at it, like, you good. Like, just be, you
Right.
know, and you'll be fine. If you about that life, then clearly, you know, it's gonna come for you. But most people coming here are just trying to rest.
Yeah.
They're literally just like
Peace.
tired. Yeah.
Coming.
Definitely peace. but I feel like when people think of Mexico City, it's much different than them thinking of like Cancun,
Of course.
or Cabo, or the coastal. So that's like the picture of Mexico that people have.
Yeah, that's
sure.
Mexico's more than beach.
They don't understand what's going on
there's
out here and how lit
everything.
this place is.
There's desert, there's jungle, they have snow, they have volcanoes, they have like literally every type of flora
I
and
ain't
like
come to Mexico
flora
for
or
snow, I
fauna,
ain't
whatever those like. It's so dynamic here. They have like their own Grand Canyon that's like double the depth of our Grand
So our shit is
Canyon.
That's fire.
Yeah, seriously.
How come ours is a world wonder, and this one I've never heard of it?
I think
Bars
ours
off.
though.
Right.
Bars off
widest.
why the U.S. Grand Canyon
Because
is a
of
world
America.
wonder, and the Mexico one is apparently deeper and better, and it's not.
It's like, I don't know. It's just the culture, the
It's
everything.
called the man, bro.
Uh-huh.
It's called the man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's
Yeah,
you
you
know,
know.
the
know him.
system.
I know.
Briefly.
It's the system,
You know
brother.
Yeah.
You know him.
Dibble dabble. So yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked now on what the question
Nah,
was.
it's
I will say, I think that middle part that people are missing is like making the jump, right? So what does it look like when you make the jump? I feel like a lot of people feel like, damn, I'm going to be down there by myself. Even if you connect to a community, it's still somewhat of a lonely process where it's like, it's just me. I got to find a spot, and then I got to find people. Even if I have been texting them, I got to meet these people in person. I got to find the vibes. So that's been, I feel like, the difficult part for people in terms of making a jump. How do you
Definitely.
make that smoother or easier?
Definitely, it's all about community. That's half of what my process is. Is the first part is the plan, and part 2 is building the community. Like I said, you can't be in paradise by yourself crying on the beach
Facts.
because you have no friends. That's not fun, you
Right.
know. But also like tap into your network.
But then again, would you rather cry in that Altima or this Rolls Royce?
That's what I'm saying. And
You
it,
gonna
and it depends also, like, what are you coming abroad for?
Crying a
Because, like, if I'm coming
400
for
square
heat-
foot apartment in
Right.
New York or?
Oh my God.
Hey.
Right.
Oh my God.
No.
Quality of
Sorry,
life
bro.
matters, man.
The quality
of
does.
life matters.
It
man.
does.
Let me tell you,
Yes.
I've been down here for 2 weeks, and it's a world of a different, bro. It's the thing is, there's so many things that make it different. From I'm in LA currently,
Okay.
and even being I compare it to like LA, New York, that type of lifestyle where you're always on the move, you hustling, you moving around. You come down here, it's not only that things are slow, it just feels like you live in a different type of life. So you wake up and things just feel
Yes.
natural.
Yes, like
Right?
the sounds and just
It's-
like
you
the
got the
mangoes on the
trees.
street.
You got
and
a breeze
It's
blowing through the
jacaranda
window.
season right now,
Exactly.
so everything's like purple and beautiful. You just kind of like gas.
People say good morning to each other.
Yes, you don't
Everybody's
even know
nice.
what to say. You're
People
like,
mad
wait,
pleasant.
what?
You in New York, you can like get the fuck out
Yeah.
my way.
Yes.
Like,
You're like, hola, buenos dias.
You go through a whole work day. You take a break. You go to lunch.
Yeah.
You sitting outside. You vibe. You talk to your
Beautiful.
friends. You come back. You finish some work. You go back to dinner. You spend about $12 on dinner. You come back to the house. It doesn't even feel like you worked. It feels like you've lived
Yep.
the day. And I feel like that's the difference. There's weeks that go by sometimes, and I'm like, "Fuck!" I
It's
did
like,
it
wait,
last week.
what?
Like, what happened? It's June. Like, I don't know what happened. But you can go through a day here and look back, and it's just a different feeling. You feel like I've
Yes.
actually lived.
It's beautiful.
at the end of the day, you really gotta ask yourself. I think, like, and I think that's the whole point of us like having you on this, right? It's
Facts.
like the question is like, are you actually living the life that you want to live? Right?
No, the answer, I already know it.
you know it's so crazy. Like, I have a lot of conversations with friends, colleagues. People always talk about. I think it's a common conversation. Oh, I would love to live this place. I would love to live Portugal or
They
London.
say it all
or-
the time.
But it's just usually all talk, and so it's good to have somebody like you who can actually take that and create an actual plan and make it happen. My question to you is, 'cause you've done this, you have a lot of reps in this. What do you think are some of the most, the best places? I'm speaking for Black people.
Okay.
As a Black person, what are the best places to relocate overseas?
Great question. For me, it's always community. So it's like, where are the most Black expat communities, the largest Black expat communities? Because clearly, like, if there's a lot of people there, then like there's a reason.
Right.
Are y'all ready for the list?
Let's go. Come on now. Take it. Hold on.
Come on. And let's see
Phone
if this
out.
aligns with what we was talking about episode 1 when we was listing our favorite destinations.
Let's
or
see,
like
let's see, let's see.
destinations. So let's see.
I do not believe it will align. But let's
They
continue.
were not going to align. They are not going to align. Fuck. All right, but let's see anyway.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start like, there's no particular order.
okay.
It's like I'm still trying to, there's not that much data
Okay.
on like Black expat, so I'm relying heavily on like the Facebook groups,
Right.
like
sure.
Black Sit Global, expat chats, and the Expat app. Which, if you are looking at relocating and finding community, the Expat app is a great. It's like the letter XPAT app. Download it. Black Sit Tribe, they're Black Americans living abroad, so we thick out there. All right, here we go. Mexico City.
Mexico
Of course.
City.
Easy,
Yes,
easy. Number one.
Okay.
And that is for, I would say, single solo.
Single
Single
solo.
solo.
Single solo. Black and
Don't-
men and women. Yes.
Don't come here with your significant
And everybody, LGBTQIA plus friendly as
All the
well.
letters.
Yeah. Funny. Okay, so Mexico.
Mexico City.
Yeah, Mexico
Okay.
City, aka Mexico, which is what they
Mexico.
call it here because
Mexico.
it's the city, the state, and the country.
other. City,
local
state,
now.
and country.
Yep.
Heard.
We that's what LIT is
Perfect.
lit, local and trading. Number 2, Merida, Mexico.
Huh?
Hold on,
Merida.
let's slow that down.
Let me say in gringo. Merida, Mexico.
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
it don't sound as sexy.
No, it doesn't.
no.
Merida.
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 I love Merida. It is probably one of my favorite cities.
And where's that
Where
located?
is- yeah,
It's
yeah.
in the Yucatan, in the state of Yucatan. About 3
Everybody
hours.
doesn't know where that is, unfortunately.
About 3 hours west of Cancun, Tulum.
Okay.
So I know y'all know where that is.
They know that.
Y'all know what
I know y'all know.
y'all treating Tulum like it's
Y'all
South
know
Beach.
it.
Y'all know what Tulum is. That's a fact.
Ooh, yes. Merida is lovely. It's just like, I love Yucatecos. It's very safe. It's literally known for its safety. So people are always like, I want to live abroad, but I'm afraid it's not safe. Merida's like, it's the safest city in all of Latin America, the second safest in all of the Americas, second to Quebec City. So it's actually safer than everywhere in the United States. So if you know people are going to be saying it's not safe, then just go to Merida and say it's actually safer than America.
Well,
and
America's
then
not
that
really
cuts
safe,
that.
So there's that.
Exactly, the whole country.
We getting hunted
entire
like
country.
dogs, but it's cool.
Yeah, and you could just go and live and be in Merida and
Can't
just like
even ring
ride my
doorbells
bike down the
nowadays without
street.
getting shot by your neighbor, but it's cool.
You know, it'd be like that sometimes. You know, the system works. So who it's supposed to work for?
Or maybe the
works.
system doesn't work.
Jesus.
For who it's supposed to work for?
Oh, there you go.
That
That's
part.
it. Anyway,
So, find
another
out.
podcast for another day.
It's another one.
Sip my tequila.
So that's not. Where's the number two? So number 3, and I'll go faster now because Mexico has, I feel like, the largest.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
right there. So that
Exactly.
makes sense. Yep.
Panama City.
Panama City.
Panama, Costa Rica. So
Okay.
there's a city called Puerto Viejo.
Puerto
Okay.
Viejo.
Yep.
Is that on the Caribbean side? Or
Yeah,
It is.
I believe it is. Yes,
It is.
Okay.
yes, it is. Hella black, and then we have Colombia. So there's Cartagena and Medellin
Medellin.
are two that go like kind of back and forth. So the same
Yeah.
like me, Mexico City with Merida and Mexico City, it'd be like the same.
Okay.
And now we're moving over. Europe, we have Lisbon or Lisboa.
Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Yep.
Shout out to Los.
Very black as well. And then we have UAE, so Dubai.
Dubai.
So very
Had a great
It's
time.
lit.
We went to
Down,
Dubai and
are
saw a
you
lot of
down
black
for
people.
If you only watched that video,
Are you
yeah.
Great.
down?
Go
Hey,
watch.
listen, the Arts of Movement has a video in Dubai that we went in last September. We went for our birthdays and we took 40 black people there.
Ooh.
You
That
should
went
definitely
crazy.
check in, tune in, like
was a
tune in.
time.
It was an amazing
That was a
trip.
time.
It's good vibes, man.
Great
I love it there.
vibes.
I love living in Qatar. It was it was close by.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
we
being-
flew into Qatar.
Okay.
As our layover.
Love it. That's
And
the
then
best
went to
airport.
Dubai.
One of the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
airports in the
It's-
world.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
like them and like
It's gorgeous.
Singapore, I think go
Yeah.
back and forth between the top.
Okay.
And then we have Accra, Ghana.
Accra.
Yeah.
She was
Shout
just there as well for
Yep.
Daddy December.
Yep.
Shout out
And
to
love
Ghana.
it. Perfect timing. And the last one, we're gonna keep going over a little bit more. We have Bali and Thailand.
Of
as
course.
well. Yes.
Wow. So the list
There's
actually
about
did kind
10.
of line up with.
Yeah.
This did line up with places we've
That
either
we've
already
been
been.
Yeah.
or are trying to go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
There's a reason.
yeah.
And you know why? I felt it because I've solo traveled to maybe 3 of those places.
Okay.
And you can feel there's community there.
Yes.
There's community there for
It makes
sure.
a difference. It really does. Because like the plan is there, the lifestyle, everything, but it's like I want to integrate into local culture, but I still want like the culture. So it's like
Nice.
that balance. Like, and I'm in my 2023 years, like the year of and, not or. Like I want this and that.
Hold on. Let them sit on
Be
that.
greedy.
The
Be
year
greedy.
of and.
And
That part.
not all.
That's why I'm like, what's your favorite city in Mexico? I'm like, well, it's Mexico City and Merida.
And-
like
oof.
it's the yin and the yang.
Right.
One's in the country, more warm, tropical with the beach and more healing. The other one's in the city, in the mountains, more people, more parties. So I can't compare. Why do I have to choose?
have
Like I
both?
want both. I can. You can. I am.
Facts.
Yes, and that's the
I love
beautiful
it.
thing. It's like make a choice and find a place. There are places where the lifestyle that you want fits. So that's what I do. Is I learn about what do you want in your life, and here are the places, literally 1, 2, 3,
These are the
1,
options.
that are going to give you the most. And now it's up to you. That everything's just find people.
Yeah.
And which do you connect with community the most?
Love it.
And that's going to be the draw. Like most of my students, they know within the first 24 hours if they're going to like the place.
Right.
One of mine even knew on the plane, like before she even got off the plane, she knew it wasn't going to work. I knew it wasn't going to work beforehand, but she was going to Australia and her sister was living there. And I was like, I don't think this is going to fit for the lifestyle that you want. But your sister's here, so I'll make the plan.
Right.
I don't think you're not gonna last long. And she's like, when I couldn't before I even got off the plane, I knew it wasn't
Yeah.
gonna be a good fit, and I know.
You can
'cause,
feel it.
Yeah, it's a vibes.
Yeah.
The plan is done before you even arrive. Now you're just going and feeling,
Now,
and you'll know. So it's
Will-
just like be honest.
will you say? So I feel like there's a medium there somewhere, where it's like, take the plunge, move all your shit. You're in a different country, or you're like, maybe put your stuff in storage.
Test
and come
it
down here so
out.
do you suggest that to people often?
Of course, I have a whole section called the test run.
Oh,
I mean, don't even put it in storage. Leave it there and rent it out. Like, especially if you live in like the East Coast in a large city, get long-term leasers who's going to be there for 1, 2, 3 months. I always rent out long-term when I'm in
Right.
the large cities. People are there looking for that. So now you can say, if let's say your rent and your bills and everything is like $3,000,
Right.
put a little $3,300. Someone's going to rent it out. Now your rent is covered. You have an extra money for probably your flight. And now you can live abroad because the money's already coming in based on your natural lifestyle. So now you're in another country where the cost of living is less. So now you've saved $2,000, $3,000, $4,000
Easily.
Like I had a student move from New York. Sania, she moved from New York to Tulum for 3 months, and she saved $10,000. I'm like, people want to save money. I'm like, move abroad.
That's a fact. Well, we went to Peru for about a month.
Yeah, we did Peru for a month. The
out there
rent was what, $900.
Versus.
Sure.
No, they don't even want to
Three
say.
times
They
that.
don't even want to
Yeah,
say.
it's like
the amount of money you spend on
1,000
going
in LA.
out, food,
doesn't-
even just having fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Spain
sense.
is the same amount of money you'll spend in New York doing the same thing would be like triple that. So
Exactly. I know. So I'm like, when I went to the U.S. for 6 weeks, it would cost me $6,000.
it's tough.
I'm like, that's 3 months in Mexico. I left early.
Oh,
I was like, what am I calculated numbers. I was like, oh,
not making sense.
hell no, I can't afford to live here. The $50 Ubers.
Bro, you start
Yeah.
running the numbers.
The math.
The math don't be mathing at
Right.
all.
Was it 50? That's a week.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
if you want me to come to the United States, you have to fly me out and pay me and
Right.
get everything. Because why would I go? And then I have to take time off to like release. all the shit.
Yeah.
Like to go from seeing black people being served to now serving, that's a mental you know? I need time to like release that.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like you can find a medium with there. So it's like, maybe just take 3 months. Save some
Start
money.
with 1 month.
Start with a
Test
month.
it out. Make sure you even like it.
Even if you end
You
up really
will.
saving $500, you save money. You save
Yep.
the money. You've alleviated some stress in your life, and you've done something different. What's the opposite? You go on vacation and you spend $2,500.
It's the same for 4 days.
Right,
I'm
for
saying
4
like,
days.
what
all you
y'all-
need is a week to know if you got to live somewhere, right?
For sure.
I'd say a week or two.
Right, like I said, with me, it's a day.
Mm.
You gonna know, like I
You
said,
gonna
you
know.
gonna know that within like you step off, you're like,
Right.
This
home.
feels right. Yeah, it either feels
or
right
like,
or it don't feel right.
"Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
So now it's up to you if you want to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part. Is like, Amber, I don't know if to say, okay, great, then let's go back to the plan and figure out what was missing,
Right.
and now we can take the time, figure it out, and let's figure it out.
So for
Make a
people
change.
like us, we turn up. We get a little.
Clearly,
We like to have a good time. Of course, we like
your
adventure.
sunglasses over here.
We had a long night. We ain't gonna talk about last night. Okay. But
Shout out to Black Planet.
we had Black
Shout
Planet.
out.
It was a vibe.
Yes.
It was a vibe last night.
Yes, I'm glad y'all had fun.
But for people like us, when we go places, it's like, all right, we need to be consistent in our lifestyle, which is having a good time, having somewhere to go on the weekend during the week to have a good drink, good music. That's
music.
oh my
Music is
God,
important.
music is
Yes.
important. You can't find it everywhere.
It's
I'm
important.
gonna take you out to my favorite bar.
Uh-oh.
The music is popping.
Really?
I'm
Yes.
excited. I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm
So
excited.
one thing that I found out here is that it's vibes. Literally the first night we pulled up, we went to Diaspora.
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 Yep. Uh-huh.
We went to
Yep.
the Diaspora. There was a vibe.
Yep. That's a good one.
The DJs were in their bag, Afro beats, hip hop.
Yep. Everything is diaspora.
I was like, bro, we good out here.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
What?
It's
So
lit.
All the
It's
black
lit.
people were
All
there.
of us.
It's funny. I
Very
ran
vibey.
into people I knew from New York. That I
Of
did not
course
know
you
was
did.
out.
It didn't
Because
make
they
sense.
know.
It didn't make sense. We were like, what you doing here?
You
They're
know, like, what you doing here?
I live here.
Like,
I'm like,
yeah, like what? Yeah, like you slow. You vacationing? It's
Right.
my neighborhood.
So
Right.
what? They
That's
said,
why I told y'all to come in this area because I was like, you're gonna run
sure.
into people like it's Condesa Roma or Roma Condesa Polanco, aka
Yeah.
like Gringolandia. It's like we're all like the
Gringo Land.
we're all like the expats live, but you're
Sound
gonna
about right.
definitely run into people that you know in those
right.
neighborhoods.
For
Yep.
sure. So you won't be short on that end.
No.
There are plenty of moves out here in Mexico City. I would say maybe more than anywhere else I've been. It's up there.
It's checking a lot of lists, honestly. Like
It's
people
up
ask
there.
me, where's the best place to go? Where's the best place to go? And I'm like, okay, well then what do you want? And so I asked my followers, like, what do you look for when you're looking for a place to live?
Right.
And they all dropped it in there. So I made like a little spreadsheet. I'm an Excel person.
So outside of like creating a plan for people to relocate, you also have now created a space for people to tap into when they come to Mexico City. I've had the pleasure of staying at the Lit House.
Yes.
It's been a
Semi-co-ed
vibe. Yeah,
version.
she's held it down. She's made sure I was good, made sure I had all the spots. the best place to get content. Like you've been holding it down. So I want you to talk a little bit more about the Lit House and why people should pay attention to that.
I love that. Lit House is like my baby. It was like a side piece of Overseas with Ease, which used to be called 30-Day Block Sit. Because the plan was 30 days, I can move you abroad, which I've done it in 6 days, by the way.
Excuse me.
Don't show off.
With kids.
Don't show off.
With kids, by the way.
Talk your talk, sis.
Yes. And so people were saying, I want to move abroad, but I don't know where to go, and I don't want to go by myself.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, then just come with me. And, like, I'll come to my spot, and I'll, like, walk you through the process so that you have someone that's there that you can ask questions to, engage with, and feel more comfortable. And it just kind of started from there. My first one was in Antigua, and it was right, like, as COVID literally was, like, beginning. It was January 2020. So, or no, 2021. And so then after the first month, I was like, okay, this could work out. I did my number thing. And then I was like, okay, let's go to Mexico. So I hit the 4 cities that have, like, pretty decent Black expat communities. But for my girl, my 2 cities that I chose are the Playa 2. So I started at Tulum. It's like Playa, Tulum, Cancun, hella Black. It's a little, you know, they're figuring out some ting-tings.
They definitely figuring out
They're
logistics.
figuring out some ting-tings. So, you know, I'm going to let them figure out the ting-tings. You know, that's it. Merida, we'll just leave it at that. Merida was the next one. Everyone always said, we start there and we always end up in Merida. So I was like, all right, well, let me just go there because everyone keeps talking about it. Fell in love. Supposed to be there for 2 weeks. Stayed there for like a month and a half. And then I went down to Oaxaca. So that's another one, Oaxaca City, where there's a lot of Black people. Oaxaca's known for its food. Spectacular. I was there during Day of the Dead as well, Dia de Muertos. And that was epic. And then I stopped in Mexico City.
Shout out to Coco.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great movie.
That's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
That's
but
a
it helps you, like,
fantastic
realize
movie.
the significance and the history and all of that of this beautiful
That's facts. I love
history.
it. That's what's up.
And then stopped in Mexico City. And so the Lit House is 3 weeks where it's all inclusive. So you just bring your clothes and your computer. And I handle everything else. Lit stands for local in training. So that's the focus is that I integrate you into local culture. So we're not about, you know, gentrifying and doing all that. We're trying to make as minimal of a negative impact in the culture, integrate, learn Spanish, learn language, meet people that live here. So we can see and understand that, like, we're all kind of in the same boat. Like, we're our experience collective to, like, the local experience here as well. So really just being able to appreciate and, like, absorb the culture here while maintaining and keeping our own also. So it's like hella Black, but also like hella local as well.
So it's 3 weeks, right? So you
3
like,
weeks.
what does that 3 week?
Look
What does
like?
it start with? Like,
Yeah, so it's a system. So before I did all this, I'm a systems builder and integrator. So what that means is I create business systems for, typically my audience was solo entrepreneurs who just started to scale their business.
Okay.
So I help them put in automations and things just to help things get smooth because they can't do the things they used to do when they have more clients.
Right.
So when people kept telling me, like, okay, I want to move abroad, but I don't know how, I was like, well, let me just make a system for it. So with the house, they come on the first Friday. I take them to my favorite restaurant, which here is Tacos Los Alexis.
Alexis, shout out to
know it.
Alexis.
Oh my gosh.
Nah,
It's
I ain't go there yet. Hold on.
nah, we got yo.
You've been.
We gotta
I'll
go.
take you.
The
When do
tacos
y'all
is fire.
leave? When do y'all leave? We'll go.
Hey,
We'll
listen,
go.
we got
what you
time
doing
for
after
it.
We got
this?
time.
We got time.
Yes, we can.
The
While we're
tacos are
eating
definitely
good.
fire.
They're fire.
Fire.
Have the
They're fire.
vegetarian. And then on
Tacos
the
de
next
ass.
day, I do all the lessons. So, like, how to get money from the ATM, because they're a little bit different here. How to
For
go
sure.
shopping at the market. We're going actually to the market, and they get the foods and stuff that they want in the house. Goes deep as to the lessons. And then day 3, we have a local brunch. So I invite other Black people that live here, and we go to Pargo here in Mexico City. Also, shout out to
Black
Alexis. No, Pargo
Pargo's not Black-owned.
is the sister of Tacos Los Alexis.
Okay.
Yes, we do go to Black Cocina though
That's
for
the one.
another event. But yes, that's on there. Shout out to the
Black
first
Cocina. We
Black
shouting them out.
Cocina. Yeah,
Black
the first
Cocina.
soul food restaurant in Mexico City. That's how we doing it out
Very
there.
fire. The
Yes.
chicken and the
That's how you know the Black
Fire.
people are coming.
We out exactly.
That's how you know.
Soul food restaurants.
Soul
is
food
fire.
abroad, man. We
Right.
out here.
And
We
hold
out
on,
here.
good soul food abroad.
That's what I'm saying.
Emphasis on the good.
It's the
You
good.
dig?
Yes,
That's
I love
fire.
it. And then from that point, most people work. So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're doing work stuff.
Yeah.
There's events that are going on, so I'm connecting them and saying, like, hey, I have friends that live here. Let's go kick it with them. And the first weekend we do a party that's in Mexico City. The second weekend we do a weekend trip somewhere within 4 hours. So we've been by the Bravo, San Miguel de Allende. I'm about to go to Malinalco, Acapulco. So we're going to hit all the cities next year.
Right.
And then the final weekend is the going away party. So you've met friends while you're here. You've gone to different places and you're like, this is my favorite meal, my favorite drinks. So we hit those before they leave. And then that's it.
Wow.
Man.
That's dope as fuck.
So,
It is.
That's a
You know
vibe.
what I really appreciate about it is, and there's a great alignment with what we trying to do here with the arts and movement, right? It's balance,
For sure.
right?
Lifestyle.
Like it's lifestyle balance. It's like, yo, get educated, go on an adventure, learn something when you go to visit these places. Turn the fuck up.
Don't
Meet
just
some
take,
dope ass
give.
people.
And tap in with the
tap in
people.
with the culture.
Yeah,
like
that's a
you
fact.
know what I mean. And that's really what the arts movement is about. And like we really, really appreciate you hopping in here,
Sure.
showing people how to really move, literally moving, move from their current position to maybe a happier one. Maybe
from
teaching
comfort.
them how to live.
Like you guys are, you say like people are comfortable.
Comfortable.
But like it's almost takes things to have to get really bad for people to make a move.
Yep.
That's a
And
fact.
you don't want it to get
So-
to that point. It doesn't have to get to that point.
It doesn't have to, but sometimes that is.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
It is
That's
what it
just
is.
what it is.
Yeah.
So like people are prepping. Like the election is coming up. There's gonna be a lot of
Oh,
change.
nasty election.
So it's like if you're like, I don't know if
Florida
I
might
wanna
become
go
its own
through
country.
this, then now like it's good to start prepping now.
I think it's a wave happening already that people are
we've
starting
been
to.
in
Oh, the
it.
wave has been
We're
started
in
happening.
it
The wave
already.
started,
You
for
guys will be
sure.
hearing about this in a few years. But yeah, we're like I said, like Black women, we're gone. I'm excited to get the Black men abroad. I know we didn't get to talk about that very often, but like whatever y'all can do, like let's go.
Let me say we've been formulating.
Yes,
a
I'm
plan
trying.
here.
Please,
Black men just need a plan. You just like for me, I still do this. I just get up and just go.
Right.
And just
I don't know if we.
I
I
pack
think
a bag,
we
but
need a
the
little
thing is
more
we
than a
gotta
plan.
instead of just getting up and going, we gotta go grab a friend.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right.
need
Somebody
to
else who
see
ain't
it.
exposed
They need to
the
see
same
it.
lifestyle that we used to, right? And be like, yo, come to Mexico City with me for a week. Come see what life is like.
I already
outside
look.
outside
I've been
outside
been
this
posting
world.
random
Ain't
things.
no such thing as a
Man,
local
people like,
legend,
oh,
dude.
what's going on down in Mexico City?
lit.
I said, you want to find out?
put it on the map.
It's like, yo,
wanna
stop
find
asking
out?
me questions.
Just
Just
come.
come.
Pull up.
Pull up.
But then
Like,
people
you
are
know what I mean?
afraid. Like
That's
that's
okay.
just fear.
Come with me. I'll show you.
So
I got you, girl. I got you.
there we go. Ultimately, yo, we appreciate you pulling up.
For sure.
you.
Well, actually, we kind of pulled up on you, but like,
Put up on you.
you know what I mean? We
Put up-
pulled
I'm
up
like,
on you.
hurry,
Thank
please,
thank you for
anybody.
having us.
I've been
Yo,
like annoying
honestly,
you forever.
That's all
Like,
good.
when you coming down? When you gonna visit? When you doing? Hey, just so you know, it's lit here.
Well,
Like, I don't know.
Cheers
I'll be
to
back.
actually making
Cheers.
that
Making
trip.
it happen.
Cheers to
Yes.
taking that leap. And this is really what we're here for. This is the
sure.
Arts and Movement Travel Talk episode 3.
3.
You dig?
Yes.
Shout out
This
to
is-
Bo. Bo in the
Shout out
house.
to Bo
giving us
sitting in the
good
corner,
points.
giving us
Tap
feedback. points.
tap in with overseas with ease.
Yes.
Facts.
You know, tap out with the lit house. Tap in with the lit house. It's a vibe.
I'm
What's
excited.
up?
It's a vibe.
Also, you see, we always donning the Arts of Movement gear. We got merch online.
Oh, man. Stop playing
Go
with
click
me.
that link in the bio.
This
Go
a
get
good
yourself
tea,
some
for
fresh
real.
shit.
Damn, son, y'all didn't even let me.
I knew
Hold on,
it was
hold on.
coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, we gonna get it right.
He had like
We gonna
7
get it
shirts.
right.
He couldn't let me one. I
Yo,
could have
yo.
tucked it up and made it look real nice. But it's okay. I'm gonna
Yo.
bring Selena. So you
Nah.
So.
We got the Arts of
Sort
Movement merch. Go get yourself some. We got some really, really dope trips coming up. We going to Antigua in August where we met this beautiful woman right here.
You know, we're gonna do a collaboration on a lit house for dudes.
Yeah,
man.
we might have
I'm
to.
sorry
We
for
might have to
It's,
Niggas
bring
came.
some people
it's
through.
cooking up.
Might as
It's
well.
cooking up
Cooking, yo,
right
yo.
now. It's
We
cooking
obviously
up.
got
It's
some
the
shit in
city.
the works.
For
It's lit.
sure. For sure.
Yo, this is Travel Talk episode 3. This is the Arts of Movement. And remember, it's not where you go, it's how you move. Holla at you.
Buenos dias.